Hi, my name is Aksik, aka Annika. Welcome to my channel, and here we're all about adult coloring books, sometimes art, sometimes history, sometimes just talking about life and other things. But lately I have seen on YouTube several videos about ranking all the mythographic books. I think it started with Jess coloring Bumblebee, and then Erica from Elm Colors did another video, and then I think somebody else just published one which I have not seen yet. So I thought this is a really fun idea, and it's always nice to kind of go through your books occasionally and kind of refresh your memory of them. So I thought that would be really nice for that. I don't have huge amount of mythographics. Actually, for me, it's actually quite a lot. And anything that I already do have, the ranking is kind of hard because they are already my favorites. Otherwise, I wouldn't have them. I am quite selective about buying mythographics, and I also, if I have come, some of them I have gotten and then kind of decided, no, it's not for my collection, and I have actually returned them. So these are, I have 11 books, and these at the moment, are the ones that are already my favorites, but I'm going to go through them from 11 to 1 and also show you some of my favorite pages in the books, my kind of most favorite book page, which is always a fluid thing, because favorite pages in the books, it depends on the moment, it depends on the mood. The favorite means favorite today, favorite in this moment of time. And I also show a couple of pages that I don't particularly like, because we all have these pages in other books as well, so why not kind of also talk about that slightly and why I don't like them. 11 books, it's not that much, but they are hefty. So the last book, or it's 11th book, is now Labyrinth by Joseph Kattenbang, and technically it is a beautiful book. Absolutely don't have anything against it. It's just somehow I struggle either picking a page on it or clicking with it. If I look through the pages, I do find stuff to like here, but there's a lot of pages I don't. It's mostly because there's more pages I don't particularly like than pages that I do like. Okay, so it's it's a very labyrinthine. I guess I was expecting more this kind of almost like inspired by the movie, magical characters, kind of weirdness going on, or a bit Alice in Wonderland vibe, but I got a lot of kind of structural pages. So what pages do I like? Okay, I do like this one, which I think this snail, or no, snail creature, is absolutely wonderful. And a little boy who's climbing here in the middle of the labyrinth on its back. So really like that page. Then what's the next one? Okay, I like this kind of a magical, I can imagine that this is used to be this magical portal here, but now it's broken and there's this abandoned labyrinth. I can get the mood of the page, and I could see myself doing something with it. The only thing I don't particularly love are those box here in the foreground. Not that I have anything against box, but I just don't, they just don't click with me. I would prefer this page without all the box, especially considering that Kattenbang has suggested that they all glow. So the glow of these box will actually take over for me the atmosphere of this page. But I do like the main concept. Then this page I do like also. This kind of moss covered, I would probably depict it kind of rusty robot. and a little girl who's winding it up, and a little kind of a ornate labyrinth here. I can imagine it being kind of slightly metallic feeling labyrinth. So you know, I can see a really cool page here. I haven't, you know, really decided in my head what the colors would be, but I can see it, I can visualize it. This one, of course, favorite of many, and the only reason I have not done it is actually is one of my kind of big favorites in this book. The only reason I have not done it is that there's been so many versions of it that every time I kind of think, oh, I might do this page, I see one or two people have just done it again and done interesting version of it, and I feel, oh, you know, if I do it now, I'm going to copy somebody. So I'm waiting for my moment, but I will definitely, you know, this is one of the pages why I keep this book. And another one here, which is also the same story. I just fairly recently saw a couple of absolutely amazing, like Phaedra's page was just stunning. She did a body color. I don't remember who did she do the body color with, but it was stunning. And now I see her page in my head, so I have to kind of clean my head a bit and, you know, go to this page with kind of a clean conscience. And then, like, the pages I don't particularly like are, for example, this one. The Sphinx just looks weird. It's just off somehow. The face is off. I don't know. Bank isn't, I don't always like it. It's very good at depicting children. Sometimes his adults, you know, are kind of on off for me. If they're in the distance, they're fine, but kind of more close-ups I don't often like. And this face kind of is somehow off for me, and, you know, the body, and it's just, it does not appeal. And another one that I was not particularly keen on was, there's several in this book, but, you know, I kind of took a couple of samples. Is this one where nothing about this page kind of interests or excites me. It's kind of very structural. I do get the concept somewhat, but it's just not calling to me, you know. I don't feel there's a central kind of interesting theme for it, and that is often a problem for me. Then my absolute favorite pages, let me see, I have a feeling that, oh, this one was just marked for doing at some stage. I actually like this page as well, but it isn't one of my absolute favorites. But I do like the little girl, you know, in a boat pulled by a goldfish. The concept is beautiful. And this one obviously is also a good page, but I'm not, see, but this is the thing, I do like the page and the art in this, but I don't like my own results here. So, you know, that's kind of me problem, I guess. I'm going to bring you a little bit closer so you have slightly maybe better view, which is, of course. But as for the favorite pages go, it's funnily, there's actually two of them here in a row. And both of them I really, really like. I like this seven-tailed fox, kind of a kitsuna. No, sorry, it's nine-tailed fox, I think, not seven-tailed. I don't know. I'm moving between mythologies, not fairly clumsily. And I just, let me see if I can add a little bit of a light so it would be slightly kind of maybe brighter. You can see a bit better. Okay, hopefully, you know, that makes things a bit better for you. And you know, the kind of a I don't know if it's a hermit living here or just a traveler entering the labyrinth to go and talk to this magical mystical fox. And I can just see this page in my head. And another one is this, and absolutely love this dragon who is kind of wrapped itself around this old castle or tower. And I remember Danielle Tavorna on Instagram did absolutely stunning version of that. So once again, this page is now in my head. But I'd really love to do both of these. So as I said, you know, although it's not my favorite, I still have several pages there that I do actually love. This one, I wasn't sure which one of the two would be now kind of last. And I kind of now feel that maybe it should have been this one. It was, between these two. So it's Mythographic Deep Blue. The artist is Fabiana Attanasio. And I think that aquatic and underwater themes are always going to be difficult for me. I feel that occasionally I struggle with depicting underwater scenes. Although, once I actually get working, I'm fine. But the first moment, how do I do it? Kind of can freak me out slightly. So here, I really love the page I actually did, the mermaid page. I think it's one of my kind of a better pages altogether. I think it came out nice, the work itself. Then there's here, I like this merman page as well. I kind of had thought about doing it in May, but I had too many other things going on, so I never got there. But I would love to do that eventually. Then this little girl in a paper boat, pulled by star dolphins. It's just, it has so many options in my head, how to do that. Like those could be little galaxy dolphins, and the background could almost be like black sky, and it just, I have picture in my head how it would look like, and it would look cool. And then the pages I don't like, I only mark one, although there's quite a lot here. But for example, I just, kind of this city scene, just, it doesn't call to me. There's nothing wrong with it. It actually, I can see you could actually do it, in really cool way, play with light, have some bits with neon, some bits really dark. Yeah, but it's just probably not my page. And here another one, which is just this kind of a crab, something, some animal or bog or creature with a building on its top is never my page usually. Like, it rarely ever do I have interest in that. Besides, there's too many of them that I'm kind of sick of seeing essentially the same page. And I just, and all those kind of plants, and there's no rhyme or reason for me to that. It's kind of boring for me, this page, and I wouldn't be particularly bothered doing it. Do I have any other kind of favorite pages marked? No, not here. And then my kind of big absolute favorite here is this page. It's kind of at the underwater saloon, which I think is a really cool scene. I absolutely love it, and I plan to do it. And because this book now, with Mythographics, if they're printed in Canada, and this one is, it's kind of newer Mythographics are printed in China, and they are pretty water friendly. You wouldn't do a big, loose watercolor in them, but they actually stand up to water pretty well. The older ones printed in Canada, they take some water, if you do one strong layer of watercolor, they accept it, but they don't really love it, and you can't really blend water, it kind of sinks in. So I actually covered this page with Daniel Smith watercolor ground to see, how that would work for me, and maybe, if it helps or not. I don't know. It's going to be an experiment, this page, but I will enjoy it. So this is another page. Would be my favorite page here. The next page, next book this is now number 9. The previous one was number 10. This is number 9, and this is, many people actually consider that one of the favorites. Fabiana Attanasio's Menagerie, and there's a lot of, obviously, Menagerie, there's going to be a lot of animal pages here. And it's not, once again, a bad book, but there's, once again, quite a lot of pages that I don't particularly fancy, which is why, it's going to kind of sitting here towards the end. That doesn't mean that there's no pages here that I do like, but it does mean that there's kind of more pages that I don't. And okay, let's go with the pages then that I do like. Here the gorilla and mommy and gorilla baby. A beautiful page. I like the little kind of winged gorilla baby. Then there's, I actually like this one. Many kind of, I've actually seen quite cool versions of this done, and you know, very much fancy it. Would like to try eventually, but you know, once again, I have in my head other pages that I've been seeing with this, you know, by other people. This one also, I have seen so many people doing it that it kind of, you know, now I have it in my head. But actually, no, I could do it because I don't immediately think of somebody else's page when I look at it. So I might actually give it a go soon. But I really do like this page. Then this page, of course, you know, many people love. It's kind of a magician raccoons. They just look so cool, and the scene is fun, you know, from the bottles falling over and the raccoons messing up, and you know, it's just fun. And the pages I don't particularly love, let me take those off. I kept forgetting in the other books, taking them off. This one is just somehow feels unfinished. This, whatever it is, little object thing that opens up and the little fairy comes out with all those in a burst of butterflies and flowers. The butterflies kind of seem random and slightly kind of copy pasted. Maybe they're not, but if I actually kind of, do I find that some of them are identical? Maybe not, maybe yes. It doesn't really matter. But you know, it doesn't really, it doesn't give a scene feel. It gives this random object feel, and you know, there's, I wouldn't know how to kind of place it. I don't like the fact that it's kind of hovering midair. That's just, you know, my thing. It bothers me. And another one that is not my favorite, for example, is that one. Although I get the concept really well. It's kind of cool, you know, it's flying fish, and the flying fish are airplanes, you know, because they have, you know, windows in them. And the concept, yes, I can see it. It's just, it does not call to me at all. And, you know, there's many pages like that, you know, there's nothing inherently wrong with the page, but I just don't like it much. And here, you know, this one, I specifically do not like that at all, because I feel that the poor antelope is in pain. It's just, you know, all the bits that have been inserted into kind of what is a living being, it just feels somehow wrong and twisted and slightly painful. I just, you know, it doesn't appeal to me. It almost feels like animal cruelty, which is, I know that, you know, it's not meant that way. And this is actually, at the moment, my absolute favorite in this book, those kangaroos, which is, once again, you know, it kind of has the same problem, that things are kind of hovering, you know, that it's not kind of, doesn't feel entirely finished, but I can totally, you know, I can imagine how this would look. And I love the poppies and the kangaroos and kind of everything, kind of this outback little moments, kind of in between. And I can see this page in my head, so I would love to do that one day. And then I have Magical Earth next, which is, I know quite a lot of people also consider that one of their favorites, you know, one of the best works by Joseph Katchenbang. And since it's in my collection, I also, you know, I don't have all the Joseph Katchenbang books, so obviously, you know, I love this one. But it's not one of my favorites from him. Although I do have a lot of kind of pages that I do love here. So I have this page, which, you know, beautiful winter page. One day, you know, during the winter, I will do it. Although I'm still kind of a bit intimidated by how to do the Northern Lights. I love this one, which, you know, I have seen many people do, and, you know, really cool versions of it, but I would love to eventually try hand with my own. I think it looks really fantastic. And then what else? This one, of course, there's a fox. If there's a fox or wolf, I am prone to like it by default. But I also like this scene, kind of a slightly dystopian feeling scene that's kind of a ruined and all kind of a, it feels like nature taking over type of a page, that there has been a civilization and now it's kind of in ruins, and this little girl has stumbled across ruins of an old library and is sitting on those broken bits of the building and reading a book. And I think the concept is just fantastic. This one, just, nice, fun. This one used to be one of my favorites, but it's a trauma page. Once again, this book is printed in Canada, and I went in with a bit too much water and essentially made a hole in paper. So I did the whole page painstakingly with gouache, except I think some grasses here. I did with pencils, but the majority of the page is done with gouache, painted. And I did like, I don't think the result is that bad, but I just remember that the process was an utter pain. And it used to be pretty much my favorite page in the book. The sloth with sleeping girl, fantastic page. The moose, I just like moose. So that's why there's nothing even that amazing about the page itself, but I really do like moose. And this page really love. I love this is now my most favorite pages. Okay, this one is the dragon, the girl at the well, just casually getting water, but underneath the well there's this magical cave with a sleeping dragon, and I just love it. It's a beautiful beautiful page. And I have another one, like, if I couldn't pick total favorite, there was another one which I kind of considered that yeah, this one as well, also like two major favorites in this book. This magical portal and the guardian owl, and once again it looks like there has been something more, something old, some civilization that is lost, but one portal is still active, the other ones here are already broken, and it's cool. The concept of this, but do I have something I don't particularly like? Here, for example, we have this volcano in a teacup, which I get it, the idea is there, but I don't think it's not centered, there's no no focus in this, and I kind of there's no scene, there's just idea, and idea is kind of cool, but it doesn't really call me that much, so it's probably not a page I would ever do. And there's another one which I kind of marked. I tried to do 2 per book, and this is just the busyness of it. At first, it took me ages, to even understand what it was. I was trying to figure out what's it supposed to be, and eventually I think my daughter said, oh, I think it's a whale, behind all those bits and pieces, and the busyness of it and everything growing out of the animal. It's just, I wouldn't, never do it. So it's not going to be my page. But once again, even though it's not my favorite book, it's still a great book. Here we have Mythographic Aviary, and surprisingly, usually, very narrow themes like this are not really my thing, but I really like this book. And I've colored here a lot. One of the reasons I've colored here a lot is when Erica from Elm Colors started her mythographic year. This, I think, was one of the first, or was it the second month? And I just happened to kind of jump onto that wagon in this month and just went for it. So this is one of my favorite pages. Really love how the page came out. It's, to me, it's interesting, it's different. And the forest or nature kind of a spirit looks also cool, with a different kind of a skin tone. It doesn't look entirely human. So that's what I was going for, and that's what I got. So I love this magical, mystical bird here. I just feel that, like, my skill level probably isn't yet up for it. Or maybe it's just a matter of, you know, I'm being a coward and I should just go for it. Then what else is here? I love this one in its simplicity. I'd love to kind of, you know, but I have to figure out what I want to do in the background. But I just, you know, love how sweet and simple it is, because often those mythographic pages can be kind of overwhelmingly busy and fiddly and detailed, whereas this one is just this beautiful portrait of a deer with little sweet birds, and, you know, why the heck not? And this one, let me see now. Do I have? And there's also this one, which is just pretty. You know, there's the concept itself, you know, doesn't really stun me, but it's going to be a pretty page. If I did it, you know, it would be a lovely page. And then pages that I don't particularly love. Everything is pretty in here, but to me, this bird looks like dead bird has been stuffed and then stuck on top of the sticks. Or, you know, I do get the concept, you know, that it's sheltering, you know, that the tree bird is sheltering little girl and the deer on the branch here. But it's just something, my brain just translates it into something unpleasant. I don't know, maybe, you know, it is definitely a problem of my brain, because the page itself is kind of, I can get it how it would be sweet, but my brain sees kind of horror in here. And this one is just a generic thing. There's probably going to be more pages like this. I don't remember now exactly, but I don't do animals in jars or bottles, because to me, and once again, my intrusive thoughts brain, those animals are all dying of suffocation. There's no air in there, and they're also intensely uncomfortable because they are stuffed into really, really tight space and they can't move. So this is my head, you know. I can't help it. So, you know, sadly, those pages are never going to work for me, and I don't think I'm ever going to get over it either. This is what my brain sees, and, you know, it is what it is. I am who I am. We all have our quirks, so we just have to take it as it comes. And then pages I really do like here. I have, once again, I have placed more than one absolute favorite tag, unless I kind of made a mistake somewhere. No, that's not. I've just forgotten a couple of old tags in here. Okay, now I have to find the page that I would say that was absolute favorite. This one isn't it. Okay, this one was, once again, like there was more than one. There was between two pages that I could not choose. One is this girl here sitting on the tree branch. It's clearly dark, it's raining, and the bird is sheltering the girl under its wing, and it's just, you know, a lovely little scene. And here, once again, kind of this cozy scene, the little girl who lives in a teapot and you know, is drinking hot tea, and the bird outside. It's, you know, just a cute scene. The next book, here we go, is Fairy Wonderland. I don't know, like, this is so subjective and hard to kind of decide, you know, what is going to be what. So this is book number 6. I didn't really call out everything. So previous book was number 7. This is book number 6. And this is by Fabiana Attanasio and full of beautiful art. All the books here are good. None of them is book that I don't actually like, because if I didn't like it, I wouldn't have it anymore. So yeah, I've had some moments with Labyrinth that I kind of don't know if I'm going to keep it or not, but we'll get there. And this one is my wood dragon, which, you know, I think A, it came out really nice, and B, I really love the line art on this one. But the pages, you know, kind of that are not done. What is here? Okay, so we have this kind of young satyr dancing in the woods, flying rabbits, beautiful artwork. Then we have, what else did I mark? Oh yeah, I love this page. It's like a fairy queen riding a chick and the wise owl. It's just, you know, beautiful. I can see the concept and colors in my head when I look at that page. And then absolutely adore this kind of a rock creature or rock giant cradling this fluffy little winged chicken in its really rough and huge hands. It's just the concept of this softness and extreme strength and hardness and you know, the gentle nature of the giant. It's just so beautiful, and I would love to do that one day. And here we have, this is also like a centaur boy and deer, and kind of what seems to be kind of some sort of a building in the background. And I think he's either a young scholar or a messenger, you know, who's carrying post and letters to somebody. So many beautiful, wonderful pages here. I'm going to pull that out as well. Things that I don't particularly like here, you know, there's some in every book. There's not going to be a book that every single page is going to be absolutely 100% hit. This is just kind of boring to me. It kind of reminds me of Mandala with some busy work around it. It seems kind of a filler page that the artist didn't have much of a, you know, kind of inspiration. So they threw something in. And the second one, this one is also lovely page. In this book, there's so many. It was very hard to choose because there was just so many pages that I loved, and it was too easy to pretty much, you know, mark every page. And this also, it's just the busyness of it and just the excessive amount of those clocks, which, you know, I just, not that a page is bad, but I can't see myself doing, or, you know, enjoying doing, or even kind of agreeing to do this, you know, all these little fiddly chains and those tiny little filigree clocks and the repetitiveness of them is like, nah. And what's the favorite page? I actually like this one. There's, you know, many other ones, but I kind of at the moment really like that one because it just looks so interesting to me. And well, except I would prefer to have less lanterns. But I guess I can always paint some of them out, you know, if I decide to that, no, there's too many. So I might take some of them out. That's also an option, but maybe not. So love this book. I love them all. And this one was also, I'm not sure if it should have been, possibly it should have been number 6, but it is number 5. You know, once again, you know, the feelings change almost every hour. So it's Veronica Kolinska's. It's my only Veronica Kolinska book. I think the new romantasy book that is coming out soon is also going to be her, and I'm not yet convinced I'm going to get it. I do like some of the pages of hers very much, and some of them not at all. It's one of these books, and, you know, kind of one of these artists. And also sometimes it irritates me that she tends to go too dark and too thick with the black line, which really, you know, in that sort of a busy pages, it doesn't work for me. But I do like quite a lot of pages here. I love these beautiful work, and it would create a lovely scene. Then there's, what else is here? Those mermaids are just fantastic. I like that they have those really long tails. They're kind of slightly, you know, different from the standard mermaid tail. And Medusa here, beautiful. What irritates me is that she made the upper lip black, you know, why? How am I supposed to color it? Like this is the sort of a thing that kind of annoys me sometimes. Like don't do that. Then Kerberos, I really want to do it one day. love the concept, love the perspective, you know, she's kind of, you know, we're close to the ground and we're looking up. Really like it. This is an interesting page also, the kind of a constellation of the big bear. Once again, I feel that my skills are definitely not there yet. But maybe one day they will be. Then the pages that I'm not particularly kind of keen, like this one, it's just one of those pages that seems to have a lot of busy work, and you know that she couldn't come up with a concept, so she just put a lot of objects, you know, around the creature, and you know, kind of made it as busy as possible instead of kind of coming up with a concept or a scene. And another one is here is, you know, once again, the good old turtle with something on its back thing. It's just, you know, too many of them. Please stop. Please have a book that there's no turtles with anything on their back. And my favorite book page in this book is actually kind of really interesting page. It would be a challenge because there would be a lot of variations of the same colors, essentially kind of browns and greens. But it could look really cool whenever this forest guardian. A lot of detail, of course, but it genuinely would be a very cool page should I ever go there. And then we have book number 4, which is my newest book that I got fairly recently. This is by Joseph Gattimbang again, Dragonspell, and beautiful art. Genuinely love this book. Once again, one of these books that I have trouble choosing pages there. There's loads of pages because I just couldn't mark, because I just couldn't pick the pages, and even then I would have wanted to mark more. And a girl in the crystal ball, you can see little the dragon is twisted around the crystal ball, and there's kind of a hands that are trying to probably kind of exuding some magic and kind of revealing this scene of a little girl on a swing inside the crystal ball, and it could be just so cool concept wise. Then there's this scene which is just, you know, once again the concept, you know, little boy, you know, what is it, you know, and his trusty dog. Joseph Gattimbang seems to kind of have a good feelings or know about little boys and the dogs, because this is not the first time he's had that moment, you know, little boy and its dog. And you know, in their reflection, that's what they actually are. That's what they in their imagination, or the boy's imagination, that's what's actually, you know, it's happening. This a knight with a dragon instead of boy and a dog, and it's just, you know, as a concept, so fun, and it could be done so well. But you know, once again, are my skills up for it? I don't know. Just beautiful magician or witch or whatever lady. There's some sort of a magic going on, and there seems to be kind of a sea serpent or a dragon twisting around her in the water. And I really would, you know, it would be fun to do. And then a girl riding a bicycle, and there's dragons flying overhead. And as a scene, it's just so wonderful. You know, wouldn't it be cool if it was kind of this, you know, the same way you can see flocks of birds flying by, you can just see a flock of dragons flying by. I just love the idea. And the boy in the library reading the books, and in his imagination there's dragons and adventures. And this one, oh, this is not actually, you know, it is one of my favorites, but this is just my whip, you know, otherwise I probably wouldn't have even marked it. This is kind of my test page, one of the page I'm doing first in this book. And the pages I don't love as much, oh, here they are. This one, I just don't understand what it is. I can't really, you know, have much of an opinion even, because I just don't get it, you know. It's kind of lost to me. It seems to be a knight, Maybe, you know, if I just took the background and did the background, and things would become clearer to me, but at the moment I don't really get it. And it's just, you know, turtle slash snail with something on its back. It's just boring to me. It doesn't appeal much, and probably never going to be done. And then I think one of my absolute favorites, well, it is like my favorite page in this book, is this mouse warrior riding this what looks like a magical cat. Or maybe it's not magical, maybe it's just a cat, but you know, the concept of it is just so cool. So I love this page, and I don't know if will I ever get to it. Once again, you know, sometimes with the favorite page, you almost never do it because you feel that you're kind of, your skills aren't up for it. You're kind of intimidated by them. And I like the fact that the mouse's sword is half of scissors. You know, the concept of it is just fantastic. Now we're getting the top three. So, top three. Number 3 is Fantasy Forest, and this is, but just like the previous book now, this one and also this one, they are all now, one of the reasons they are probably kind of towards the top is they are all printed in China. So they are going to be my favorites. That probably influences me quite a bit because they have a paper that loves water, well, loves water, that likes water better than the ones that are printed in Canada. So this also is printed in China. So it takes some water, and I haven't done anything in this book yet. I will get there. But for some reason, I just, you know, keep thinking about starting it, and I haven't. There are so many pages here that I love. Foxes, of course, you know, magical foxes with, you know, crystals, mystical crystals in the foreheads. And what else do we have? Oh, I like that scene. See, I often don't really love buildings or urban scenes, but here I love the fact that there's a woodpecker, which I think is kind of, okay, possibly a magical or fairy woodpecker, on the tree here, and maybe it's not a woodpecker, and anyway, a bird on a tree, which is in the foreground, but all the trees and bark are actually growing around those fairly urban, modern urban buildings. It's not a kind of a fairy landscape. It looks more like, I don't know, a big city, but yet it's very organic, and everything is kind of wrapped in tree bark and greenery. And I think the concept is fun. And here we have next, oh yeah, that's the second time Fabiano has done that. Well, I think that I know. Whenever this rock creature, rock giant, it's just, I just love this creature. There's something so kind of almost childlike and naive and very sweet and gentle about it. And she always plays with the fact that it's kind of rough and big and strong, and it's doing something incredibly gentle and touching something very fragile or soft here. It's picking the flowers or touching the flowers. And, you know, the concept just appeals to me hugely. So definitely want to do that rock creature soon. And the centaur in front of this abandoned forest throne, or kind of a magical throne. It's just, you know, cool scene. And except one of the things that I just don't know what to do with, what those balls with wings, what they are and what I should do with them, I'm not 100% sure, which is why I think I won't get to this page anytime soon, because sometimes some element of the page that you otherwise love is throwing you off. I love this you know, a fairy, flower fairy or flower creature. Kind of, just, she's beautiful, she is different, and she really looks like flower come to life. Gorgeous, gorgeous page. I would kind of wish that they weren't those lanterns there. I think this page would be better without lanterns, but you know, that's just, you know, my feeling. And also, you know, this kind of a little Fae sleeping in the dream catcher, which I just like as a concept. It's just beautiful idea. And the pages I don't particularly like here, well, there's always a couple. But once again, you know, the poor dragon can't breathe. I know my brain is weird, but here it is. I just, you know, I can't deal with these pages. So and the dragon is adorable. I would love to actually color this dragon, but I can't do that scene because that dragon is in trouble. And, you know, I would just feel bad for the poor creature. And this one, which is just, you know, once again, it feels like a filler page, that, you know, nothing really kind of, it's like an artist ran out of the ideas, so he did this steampunk tree, and that's it. So it doesn't really kind of call to me in any way, shape, or form. My favorite pages, there's a problem again because I have couple. There's, yeah, that's the thing. Like, I could not pick. I tried so badly, and I couldn't pick. So I have essentially, well, 3 pages that I adore. One is this, once again, kind of a interesting mushroom slash nature spirit. I love the puppies. I like the creature itself. Here, it's kind of a bear with antlers. I think it might be an actual creature in some mythology, but I'm not sure. And the gentleness, and, you know, the kind of there's kind of a cozy, gentle, loving vibe to this book, which I really appreciate. And this little mouse looking in wonder with kind of a maple seeds running, kind of flying in the wind. It's just so sweet. So yeah, absolutely, this book, fantastic. My second place is Cosmic Spirit, and my second and first place were kind of very tight for me. It could change. Even the kind of Fantasy Forest could have actually been in the first place. I'd say this is going to be kind of a shuffling in my mind quite a lot. So this book was by Fabiana Attanasio, and it's based on kind of a tarot and astrology inspired imagery. So I love this page. This one is obviously, you know, I've already done, but I've always kind of liked the Fool. And I also think that it's one of my most successful pages. I really like the kind of a strength and vibrancy of it, and it does look more of a painting than kind of a coloring page. And, you know, I think it, as far as kind of just finishing a page that you're happy with, this is one of these, and I'm really happy with that page. And this one is also a page that I do like, and, you know, have already finished. Then there's a couple of more I kind of marked here, you know, pages that I haven't finished, but I really like. This is Aquarius page, and so absolutely love the concept. I love the art. Composition is beautiful. So, you know, it's going to be, you know, you don't have to do, if the composition is good and the kind of the way and the concept is good, it's very hard to mess it up. You know, there's not that much to save here. You just follow the page and you're going to have a good page, good result. And here the Judgment, which is kind of from Tarot, the Great Arcana. And once again, you know, beautiful concept, beautiful composition, you know, everything is really well thought of, you know, the way it's framed, the background, the light, you know, everything works. And one page that, oh, I didn't mark, but this would be now my favorite. Oh, sorry, I didn't show you the pages I didn't like, so I showed you the favorite before I should have. So this one, which is just, you know, it's okay, but it's kind of boring, and, you know, I wouldn't feel any pull towards this page. Don't hate it, but I just don't feel anything towards it. And this, I just, I can't see what's happening. I know it's supposed to be Cancer, and it's supposed to be kind of crab, but my brain doesn't, technically I can see, what it is, but it just doesn't click with me at all. So I don't think I'm going to do this page. And yeah, there's quite a lot of pages here that I have done. The Hermit. I don't know if this book I worked in a lot. The Chariot. I kind of started going from the beginning at some stage, with the tarot themed. The Lovers, which I think is a pretty successful page. Hierophant. Also love this page a lot, which is the Empress. I love the color scheme here. And there's the Priestess, a High Priestess, a Magician, Magician. Also here, so I have a lot of pages here done, for me personally. So yeah, my favorite page then is the Star, and it's just, once again, beautiful composition. And if I would take my time, I would prefer a little bit less of the cogs and wheels, but they might add to it. So they kind of measure the time and universe, and so yeah, it's just a beautiful theme. And my first is Wild Summer. Yeah, it's probably not a surprise to anybody who has heard me talking about mythographics before. I do love this book. But as I said, the first three especially are all very close and could shuffle around in my head. But at the moment, in this moment, this time, this place, that's my favorite. It's by Joseph Cattingbank. And, funnily enough, often I prefer even Fabiana Attanasio pages, because Cattingbank can get very, very fiddly or very fine or too detailed in his pages. In this book, that doesn't feel like a problem. In many of his books, what stops them to be my favorite over Fabiana's pages are is exactly the kind of, sometimes the fiddliness, over-detailed feel to them. But in this book, he's kind of walking this line that, they are detailed, but they're not too detailed. None of them feel super fiddly. So in this book, almost every page here, even the pages that I like less, I would be willing to color. So here, some of my favorites. This beautiful portrait, which once again, the reason this one wasn't done was that, I have seen so many good versions of it, but at the moment, it's starting to fade in my brain, so I might go back there again. So here, this one, I just love the scene and the idea. Little boy that's looking in the pictures in the clouds and the cloud sheep. It's just, as a concept, so beautiful. I would kind of struggle coloring it so everything would kind of pop in this page, but eventually I suspect I will give it a go, because I absolutely love this page. This one I've already done. I love the panda eating watermelon and the little girl kind of riding the waves in watermelon half. It's just, I think, as a concept, wonderful, and it came out really good as well. And I love this one. That's, little boy and this dog. Once again, you see little boy and his dog, in the chair, dreaming about running the fields together in the summer, on a bright summer day. So, absolutely wonderful concept. And, it's kind of, I have quite a bit of color already down. I need to kind of get to it. I also love this one, but it's not one of my favorites here. And I've done quite a lot of pages here, but quite a lot, several pages here, which for me is a good going. So love this one as well. Then which ones I don't like that much, you know, or would be the least favorites here. You know, this one, once again, I actually do like this page. It's just I don't usually enjoy doing building much. And also the fact that I don't know why, but kind of all those kind of corals and water anemones, whatever, growing out of the face here, kind of just throw me a bit. I don't know. The animal seems to be in a bit of a pain, and that's also always an issue for me. And this one, which once again, it's not bad, the concept, you know, that the elephant is a mountain essentially, you know, but it's just composition wise or kind of concept wise is not calling to me. Not that it's a bad page, it's just not something that, you know, I particularly want to do. And favorite page, it was very hard to pick here because there's so many pages here I love. But as far as, you know, what I picked here, you know, today, this moment, okay, this is typical now. It just is this one. It's just a pretty scene, and I think it would come really easily, you know, it would be really enjoyable and fun to do. The dancer and the fountain and the kind of a glowing circle behind her. And of course there's a fox, and you know, if there's a fox, it's by default a lovely page. So that's it. That's my ranking of mythographic books. Hopefully you had some fun and, you know, saw some interesting pages that take your fancy as well. And maybe, you know, I picked and brought attention to some pages that you didn't think of before, and, you know, now fancy doing them as well. So thank you very much for watching. If you like my channel, please like and subscribe, leave a comment, tell me about your favorite mythographic books, tell me, you know, of any pages you really fancy. And thank you very much again for watching, and have fantastic creative time, and bye bye.